On March 31st, 1995, the world of music was shaken by a tragedy so shocking it felt unreal. Selena Quintanilla Perez, known to millions simply as Selena, was just 23 years old when her life was cut short. She wasn't only a superstar, she was the Queen of Tejano music, a cultural icon whose influence transcended borders. But the most haunting part of her story wasn't just her death, it was who killed her. Not a stalker, not an obsessed stranger, but Yolanda Saldívar, the woman who had been one of her closest confidants, the president of her fan club, and someone Selena trusted like family. This is the story of Selena's tragic murder, the betrayal behind it, and the legacy she left behind. Selena Quintanilla was born on April 16, 1971, in Lake Jackson, Texas. From an early age, it was clear she was destined for greatness. Singing alongside her siblings in the family band Selena y Los Dinos, she brought a new energy to Tejano music, a genre that was traditionally male-dominated. Her father, Abraham Quintanilla Jr., recognized her extraordinary talent and pushed her toward the stage. By the late 1980s, Selena had become a regional sensation. She was breaking barriers, not just as a young woman in Tejano, but as a Mexican-American bridging cultures. Her star truly exploded in the early 90s. With hits like Como La Flor, Amor Prohibido, and Bitty Bitty Boom Boom, Selena wasn't just a singer, she was a movement. She won a Grammy in 1994 for Selena Live, becoming the first Tejano artist to do so, and she was just getting started. She had begun recording her first English-language crossover album, Dreaming of You, which many believed would make her a global pop superstar. But as her fame grew, so did her circle of influence. And among the people drawn to her light was Yolanda Saldívar. Yolanda Saldívar was a nurse in her early 30s when she first heard Selena's music. She became instantly obsessed, and in 1991, she reached out to Selena's father with a bold proposal to start an official Selena fan club in San Antonio, Texas. Abraham approved, and Yolanda quickly became indispensable. The fan club ballooned to thousands of members, generating significant revenue and boosting Selena's visibility. Yolanda's dedication seemed unwavering. Over time, Yolanda's role expanded beyond the fan club. She became a personal assistant, a confidant, and eventually the manager of Selena's clothing boutiques, Selena etc. She was welcomed into the Quintanilla family's inner circle. Selena, known for her warm heart, treated Yolanda almost like an older sister. But beneath the surface, Yolanda's devotion had a darker edge. By 1994, cracks were beginning to appear in Yolanda's perfect image. Employees at Selena's boutiques began complaining about Yolanda's controlling and abusive behavior. She was described as manipulative, jealous, and overly possessive of Selena. Abraham Quintanilla started to suspect Yolanda of financial mismanagement. Fans complained they weren't receiving merchandise they paid for, and discrepancies appeared in financial records. Yolanda was accused of embezzling money from both the fan club and the boutiques. When confronted, Yolanda denied everything. But Abraham's suspicions grew stronger. He warned Selena repeatedly about Yolanda, telling her that she was dangerous. Selena, ever trusting and loyal, resisted cutting ties. She didn't want to believe that someone she considered family could betray her. That loyalty would prove fatal. In early 1995, the Quintanillas discovered undeniable evidence of Yolanda's embezzlement. They decided to sever all ties with her. But Selena, still hoping to resolve things peacefully, agreed to meet Yolanda to retrieve important financial documents. On March 30th, Selena and Yolanda checked into a Days Inn motel in Corpus Christi, Texas. Tensions were high. Yolanda claimed she had been sexually assaulted in Mexico and tried to manipulate Selena into sympathy. Selena, focused on recovering her business documents, tried to remain patient. The following morning, March 31st, Selena returned to Yolanda's motel room to collect the remaining papers. What happened next would end in tragedy. Inside room 158, an argument erupted. Yolanda pulled out a .38 caliber revolver and pointed it at Selena. As Selena turned to flee, Yolanda fired. The bullet struck Selena in the lower right shoulder, severing an artery. Bleeding heavily, Selena staggered to the motel lobby, leaving a trail of blood. With her last strength, She named her killer, Yolanda, room 158. Moments later, she collapsed. At 11:49 a.m., Selena Quintanilla was pronounced dead at Memorial Medical Center. She was just 23. Meanwhile, Yolanda fled to her truck in the motel parking lot. For nearly 9 hours, she held police at bay in a dramatic standoff, threatening to kill herself. Negotiators pleaded with her as crowds gathered outside, fans sobbing and praying for justice. Finally, Yolanda surrendered. She was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The trial that followed captivated the nation. In October 1995, after just 2 hours of deliberation, a jury found Yolanda guilty. She was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 30 years. To this day, she remains incarcerated in Gatesville, Texas. Selena's death devastated millions. In Texas, radio stations played her music nonstop. Fans flooded Corpus Christi, leaving flowers, candles, and messages of grief. Her funeral drew tens of thousands. The shock was especially profound because Selena had been on the cusp of global superstardom. Just months later, her crossover album Dreaming of You was released posthumously. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, making Selena the first Latin artist to achieve that milestone. Her death was not just a loss to music, it was a cultural wound. Selena represented hope, pride, and the blending of cultures. For Mexican Americans and Latinos everywhere, she was more than a singer, she was family. In the years since her death, Selena's legacy has only grown. She became a symbol of Latin pride, a trailblazer for artists like Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, and Cardi B. Her story inspired films, documentaries, and countless tributes. But questions still linger. How did no one see Yolanda's dangerous obsession sooner? Why did Selena, against her family's warnings, continue to trust her? And most haunting of all, if Selena had walked away that day, could she still be alive? Selena's murder wasn't just the death of a young star. It was the death of possibility, of albums never recorded, stages never lit, and moments never shared. The betrayal cut even deeper because it came from someone Selena loved and trusted. In the end, Yolanda Saldívar will forever be remembered as the woman who stole Selena from the world. But Selena's spirit has proven unkillable. Decades later, her music still fills dance floors, her face still appears on murals and t-shirts, and her story continues to inspire new generations. Selena Quintanilla's life was tragically short, but her impact remains eternal.